Hi everyone, it's Viktor speaking, and Tsveti and I are here to speak about the full moon happening in Virgo on the 27th of February on 8 degrees. How are you doing, Tsveti?
Hi Victor, I'm doing great, thank you. It's a very sunny day, warm outside, and Mercury is already direct now that when we are recording this, so everything is much better.
We won't be having retrograde planets for 9 weeks.
Oh yeah,
The
everything
very
will be
next one is
going
going to be one of those giant ones in
Saturn.
April. So it's good news. Life can move maybe on a little bit. Do you think the full moon is supporting this?
Yes, I think so. It is supportive, and this full moon is actually very supportive. It's a good one. It has very nice aspects, I think. So, finally, a fresh breath of air, I think.
Okay, so how do you see what shall we expect from this full moon?
This full moon, it's in Virgo. It's as you mentioned, it's almost at the 9 degree actually. Uh, yeah, just for the record, so to say. And it's actually what makes the best impression on me, or the highest impression on me when I look at the chart of the full moon, is that this bucket shape it has, and it's like that the moon um, is like the handle of the bucket, so it will be like shining light on things that were hidden so far, in a way. And because it's in Virgo, it will allow us to somehow look at the information, see what we know, and see what other options we have, and make some rational decision, maybe a constructive one, just like the Virgo sign likes to do, like being able to gather a huge amount of information and constructively and methodically really see the essence within it and put it in a simple way so that we can grasp the information. So I think, yeah, it's going to be a very constructive full moon for everyone.
You know, bucket shape is all about having a one planet which is on one side of the chart and the rest of the planet are on the other. And basically one planet is holding together the entire, the other nine planets, which is on the other hemisphere of the chart. And this time around, we're only going to be having Moon on the other side, which is an interesting one because obviously Moon is your emotional well-being. So I do believe that yes, it's a helpful full moon to a certain extent, but at the same time, I feel like this is very much about emotional changes as well. I think this Virgo full moon is could be great to release or to adjust your feelings, or even we might be seeing on a world scale some adjustment in areas of service or health and organizations, because every single energy is basically landing on moon, right? And
Yeah,
the moon represents us, our feelings, the people. And by the way, even
absolutely.
moon is conjuncting a fixed, sorry, no, an asteroid called Vesta, which is again very much about female energies. And Vesta is very much about seeing things clearer. Vesta is related to the Vesta Virgins, so something to do with purity. So it looks like Moon is going through some type of purity. And the questions what we have to ask when this full moon occurs is that, are you actually paying enough attention to your health?
Yeah,
If you do so, then are you paying attention to other people's health? Right? Are
yes,
you in a service industry? So what type of service you give to others? Because we shouldn't be forgetting that full moon is all about having an opposition between moon and sun. And moon talks about your vitality, and it talks about what you can achieve in this incarnation. And the moon is the key to happiness, your emotional well-being. And an opposition means that the needs are not met, and the conscious self is pulling into different direction. And the emotional self is also wanting something different. That's why
Mm-hmm.
with full moons, we always need to make an adjustment. And
Yeah.
Virgo is a health sign, so we need to do some healing.
Yeah, and also this full moon, it is of course a matter of adjustment because it's an opposition to the sun, which also rules our vitality. So we will need to adjust something in our daily routines because it's Virgo, and something regarding health matters as well. The body, because the moon also rules the body, and it has very nice aspects to Pluto and to Uranus, indeed, which are able to give us a fresh perspective because moon trining Uranus, definitely a fresh perspective, something out of the box, something that we so far have neglected or didn't see, or maybe disregarded as inefficient. Maybe this time we will be able to test it for ourselves like a Virgo like to do, and really find out that it works greatly for the body, for the health. And also this moon Pluto trine that is also forming during the full moon, it will probably give us on a deep emotional and psychological level the healing that we need. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury, indeed, not only that it is direct already, it is also visible, which means that it is outside of the sun's rays, and it will be able to be more rational and to really consider the facts as they are. And it's also separating from Saturn, and shortly will be joining Jupiter, which means that we have already gathered some information while Mercury was with Saturn. We already explored the old ways because Saturn rules old ways. We have already explored some structures, made some attempts to make some innovation in our daily routine with some discipline coming from Saturn. And now we are moving on in a way to our new opportunities. So I think that it's also supporting our change of consciousness even. It's like we will have a chance to make a decision because the Virgo sign is also the critic of the signs. So we will have a chance to make a rational decision whether something is working well for us or not.
Absolutely. But you know, yes, this moon is supported, but at the same time, we do have got a moon is actually formulating a special aspect called the yod, which is basically yod is all about redirecting the energy. And we have got two in conjunctions, which is a 150-degree aspect, and there is a sextile involved as well. So this time around, the finger of God features the moon uh, as an apex planet, and with having Saturn and Chiron on the back ends. So
Mm.
this could bring, though, some type of challenges to your emotional well-being, as well as your health and the ability to serve. So I feel like this is a brilliant time actually to do some type of shadow work or some healing. If you are going through, for instance, depression, because one of the side of the yod is the Saturn and the moon, which is all about uh, restrictions to your emotional side. And Chiron is asking you to heal those wounds. And the question is whether you're gonna be ready for this or not. So, and of course, because we've got so many health related energy involved. Moon is the body, Chiron is the wounds, and very much describes the medical field in our society. I feel like this yod is going to bring a tweak or a twist related to the COVID situation. However, I do believe that in the next 6 weeks, this full moon is also going to be helping plenty of countries to open up their services because that's what Virgo is all about, service to others. So
Mm-hmm.
restaurants, coffee shops, and so forth. I'm expecting in some countries to start opening up. And if I'm not mistaken, actually, Bulgaria is opening up their borders and shops on the 1st of March.
Well, they're planning. Nothing is for sure until they do it. But yes, they are planning to do so. And
Yeah.
yeah, speaking of of this possibility of some disappointment as well, in and looking at the full moon chart, I cannot just miss to say that Jupiter is also a planet which can give us some overconfidence
Yeah.
and some permissiveness, and in this sense we might become overly optimistic in the way we think, and we might miss something important because Mercury is the ruler of this full moon, of the moon in Virgo, and joining Jupiter could give us a little bit of the sense that we can indulge into stuff without actually being at the right, doing it at the right time, like hurrying up a bit to the good stuff.
Yeah, and exactly that full moon, which has got a quincunx to Saturn, that at the end of the day, that can create an imbalance
Mm.
between your personal and professional life. As I said, also something to do with your emotional needs and other people as well. So some of you might feel that you are forced to carry out some type of duties which you don't want to. Maybe you're going to have to look after someone among your loved ones. Um,
Mm.
Maybe actually this is a time when you want to be focusing more on yourself rather than on your personal duties. So this aspect somehow makes us less makes us be less focused, and it's a lot harder to create that harmony in our life what everyone is kind of craving for. And Saturn is a cold and dry planet, so it can really make us a little bit emotionally detached as well. Maybe we are feeling guilty, or we are feeling torn apart, or we are actually just scared. And of course, as the vaccine has just got basically, you know, introduced in most of the countries, maybe some of the fears are going to be, building up, because as you said, this full moon is ruled by Mercury, which has just gone direct. Mercury has just become visible, and Mercury is just picking up his speed. So it could indicate that this vaccine is going to get faster to people, and maybe it's going to be like, oh, what am I going to do now? Right?
Yeah.
So there is a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
of an trying to avoid our responsibility, and because Moon rules very much about the society, and Saturn is the rule. A quincunx always going to talk about wanting to, the quincunx is a Scorpio and the Virgo-like energy. So it's something which is necessary, but at the same time, I am completely not sure about it. And that's Scorpio, because Scorpio is going to ask those big questions. Scorpio has got the trust issues,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Definitely. And also when we talk about substances, and yeah, we cannot miss that we have three planets in Pisces as well during the full moon. Except for the Sun, we also have Venus, which will ingress into Pisces on the 25th, 2 days before the full moon, and we also have Neptune there for quite a long time. And yeah, Neptune and Pisces, they rule substances, so it could talk about something related to the vaccine, as you mentioned, I think. But yeah, on the other side, Venus into Pisces, it's exalted and it loves being into Pisces, so maybe we will just want to have some time off, some time alone, so that we can reconsider the facts and to calm down our mind. And it will be much about the balance between what's really useful, realistic, what we have to do on a daily level, the daily errands that we need to do, and how we can find a safe place to relax and to somehow let go and to enjoy a bit the beautiful side of life. So I think that this full moon is talking about this strife for exactly this balance between finding the health, the body, the physical, but also the psychological side of things.
Yeah, and you know that Venus, which is having an opposition to
The,
Moon and Vesta, that could really that could really boost our creative inspiration as well. Or it might be helping us to blend with, you know, with certain things in our life or with our beloved ones. So this
mhm.
is actually a great week, you know, to spend time together, even if it's online, but spend time together with people you want to be sharing some moments, right? And also, as you said, that full moon is also being trined by Uranus, and
Mhm.
at the same time, that's going to give us, you know, awareness of your freedom, of your creativity. It can actually give you a very heightened intuition as well. And this is the time when we can really make some positive changes because Uranus has got genius ideas. And because Virgo is highlighted, which talks about your everyday life, but also it talks about working. So I think Uranus helps there to become more flexible, to be more open minded. Uh, it might allow us to take on some adventures and new opportunities. So, yeah, there are so many good things around this full moon, but at the same time, there are some risky moments involved as well, basically.
Yes, yes.
Do you
And
think that? Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask if you think that this full moon highlights the Saturn Uranus square as well at the same
I
time.
think so. That was exactly what I was going to mention. This Saturn Uranus square is still active, although it's already separating. But the interesting thing is that the opposition between the Moon and the Sun is a part of a synthetic triangle with Uranus on the apex, which means that this full moon will give us some other perspective, possibly a very out of the box one, and it might just shine a light, and give us this new outlook on the square, and it will be in a more positive way. Maybe we will be able to see a little bit further because Uranus rules the future, indeed, and progress and totally different mindset. So maybe this full moon will be able to shine a light on other perspective regarding what has frustrated us before.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this full moon does highlight the Saturn square Uranus because, as I said, the moon is having a quincunx to Saturn, and the quincunxes are very karmic experiences. And obviously, that Saturn Uranus square kind of creates a conflict between responsibility and independence, or stability and
Mm.
change. So both planets want something else. It wants to shake us up a little bit and get us out of our comfort zone. Saturn is very conservative. Uranus is very liberal. Uh, Saturn is sane. Uranus is kind of crazy energy. So we still have got this energy around, but it looks like it's easing up. And what's interesting is that when the Saturn Uranus square happened on the 17th of February, that's when it became exact. That's when Facebook actually banned the Australian users
Mhm.
from being able to assess or access news in their feeds. So, and this is exactly something like we would be expecting when there is a Saturn Uranus square happening.
Square.
So, in the next 6 weeks, I'm also expecting something going on there as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Do
And
you have anything else to share with us for today?
yeah, just one more thing about the Virgo energy, because it is very self-critical as well, and it can make us be very hard on ourselves sometimes. And because it's in opposition to Pisces, and this is the sign which is very, how do I say, lyrical, a little bit out of this world, and Pisces wants to sleep. Maybe our sleep patterns will improve. Who knows? But maybe we can allow ourselves to rest a bit. And with this Moon Uranus trine, maybe we will be able to complete our tasks faster in a more um, productive way, energized, and then also find some time to really relax, maybe spend in nature because Uranus is in Taurus. So yeah, and we have this kind of a grand trine between Pluto, Uranus, and the Moon, although Moon Pluto is a bit far. Doesn't have an orb, but still it's Earth energies there, so there will be some stabilizing effect as well.
Yes. Yeah, I do believe, with all the energy, it does ask us to not to just focus on the physical world, but tune into your subtle divine energy as well at the same time. So there are some emotional wounds which we need to let go of. And somehow, yes, we want to go back to normal. And I think this astrological aspect actually going to highlight plenty of people's feelings and even medical conditions. So with this full moon, especially those ones who have got an Aries rising sign, for instance, they have to watch out for their health. They have to be, if they are doing so, then this is the perfect time to actually hit the gym or change certain type of habits. So this full moon is going to be talking about letting go of certain behaviors, certain habits, a lifestyle you lived so far might not be working anymore. So it might be just about changing your eating habits, your diet, right? And as
Mm-hmm.
you said, if you have been judgmental towards yourself or others, then maybe it's time to look into the mirror. And exactly that's what Venus says. Spot something which is beautiful about yourself, because that's going to be boosting your self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Venus is the planet of self-worth. And in Pisces, at the moment it's talking about, yeah, maybe you want to be having a haircut, or you want to be having a face mask on, and, just to become, to feel beautiful about yourself. Because that full moon is very much highlighting whether you have neglected yourself in the past
Yes.
or not. If you do so, then this is the next few weeks when you're going to have to get back into business and maybe go for a pedicure. Actually, foot massage, because there are so much earth energy going on. Your foot can be quite sensitive. So you
Yeah.
might want to go for a pedicure or a manicure, or a body massage. So this is not necessarily a time when you should be going to the gym and then trying to pull muscles. This is actually more about a little bit of a relaxation. Virgo for me acts like a spring clean. So you can be at home and then get rid of what you don't need. Check your cupboards. Virgo wants to create, when Virgo doesn't function well, actually they want to create a chaos so that they have got something to sort out. So instead of that, just go into your cupboard, look at what you need, what you don't need, and then put things in the bin. Virgo is the sign of spring clean. In
Yeah.
medical field, Virgo is going to be talking about your bowel movement. So there is no better time than to do a body cleansing. And you can do that by herbs, spices, natural things. Virgo
Mm.
rules anything to do with the natural process of the nature. So you can start doing something like that. And because we've got Virgo and Pisces axis going on, that's very much of a shamanic type of axis. So
Yeah.
you can even turn towards some spiritual method to do an aura cleansing, for instance.
Yeah, or even use gemstones because they will represent both the material and the spiritual world. So it will be quite a nice manifestation of both Virgo and Piscean energies I think, and also the trine to Uranus will be manifested quite well. And when you mentioned physical activities, and the Aries rising signs, I looked at the Mars Pluto trine, and I was thinking, wow, it will be really great to if we could, do some physical exercise and any kind of physically demanding tasks, because we will have kind of the willpower, and we will manifest, because these are the trine is happening in earth signs. We will push through till the end. We will manifest because it's in earth signs. So it might become even something, it might be something that will remain stable in our lives, a new habit, like the Virgo sign rules habits. So,
Absolutely.
mm-hmm. So I
But
think it's a good moment to start something like that.
the fact that the Aquarian energy started easing up by having Venus and Sun also in the
Mm.
sign of Pisces. The Sun entered the sign of Pisces on the 18th of February. And I think it's actually a good news, because even though Sun is peregrine, which means it has no essential strength in the sign of Pisces at the moment. However, it came out of a detrimental position and it goes into a neutral energy. So it's kind of a spiritual awakening, what it describes to us. And of course, the sun is very much featured as well. So, sun in Pisces is definitely about an unconditional love, which we can give to others as well as to us. That's
Yes.
very, very important. And this is a brilliant week actually to start, as you said, new habits, but maybe starting a new course as well. A new course, why? Because Mercury is still hanging in the sign of Aquarius, which is all about the higher learning. That's the higher manifestation of Mercury. So we can even learn something new about ourselves if you
Mm.
do some type of shadow work courses, or some type of spiritual alignment or spiritual practices and so forth.
Yeah.
If we are, because the Pisces energy is very emphasized, by having three planets, and Neptune has been there since 2012. The question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to be creating those new habits, or are you going to be using substances, or
Mm.
you're going to be trying to escape from
Escape.
something, or you're going to be aimlessly running around like chicken without heads? And are you
Mm.
going to be playing a martyr role, especially in relationships, because Venus is also included in there? So there are, and this is a full moon. So maybe I should have mentioned at the beginning what full moon indicates. But full moon is very much about your emotional and your physical needs, which are pulling you into different directions. And oppositions usually talk about how we relate with others. So full moons are always affecting relationships.
Yeah.
And this time around with Venus, Vesta, these are actually relationship planets. Having Chiron and Saturn around, it could really talk about that it's time to heal some of your relationships, traumatic experiences you had with certain people, and bringing them onto the surface.
Yeah, definitely. This more compassionate, more gentle energy of Pisces will be really helpful for that, I think, as well.
Absolutely. And also, Virgo um, full moon, which is ruled by Mercury, Mercury being still in Aquarius, it is going to be asking you also the question, what are your special talents? What are your gifts? Are you
Mm-hmm.
actually utilizing them fully to serve others? And serving
Absolutely.
others in a way which is also giving you happiness, joy, basically delights you. And that's coming from the Venusian and the Vesta energy, what we also have spoken about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, Tsveti, do you have anything else to share with us for today?
I think we covered most of the transits during the full moon, and yeah, I think that was all I wanted to mention.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for
And I
inviting
hope
me.
you guys like the video, and we will be back with the new moon in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, surely.
Take care, everyone, and have a blessed week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.